The Annexation of Crimea, Project 2, May 7, 2017, by Ryan Chandler. The history of Crimea. Crimea was annexed as a part of Russia in 1783 by Catherine the Great and remained a part of Russia until 1954, when it was transferred to Ukraine under the Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev. Crimea was a part of Ukraine up until March of 2014, when Russia annexed this territory, which led to a major uproar between the two countries. Crimea was mainly a culturally Russian state during the time in which it was a part of Ukraine, so when Russia made the move to annex this territory, there was a vast majority of people who were in favor for the move, while some were not, and this is what has created much of the chaos in Crimea. Some people feel that it was an illegal thing to do, while some are in favor for the annex. Here are the timeline of events. February 2014. Violent anti-war government protesters fought Ukrainian revolution in the ousting of President Viktor Yanukovych. February 23rd. Putin had a secret meeting about exposing and annexing Crimea from Ukraine. February 27th. Pro-Russian activists and gunmen camp outside of Crimean parliament and illegally enforce the instatement of new pro-Russian Prime Minister Sergei Aksyonov. March 1st. New Prime Minister officially asked for Russia's help to keep peace in Ukraine. March 16th. Poll came out stating that 95.9% of Ukrainians in Crimea were in support of joining Russia in the referendum. March 18th. Full Russian annexation of Crimea. Why Putin annexed Crimea? That is the real question. According to Daniel Treisman, author of the article Why Putin Took Crimea, he believes that there are three potential reasons for that. Putin believed that the Ukraine's new government would join NATO forces. Kiev might evict Russia's Black Sea Fleet from its long-standing base in Sevastopol. And 3. Putin cast the annexation of Crimea as a part of Russia's project to gradually recapture the former territories of the Soviet Union. But the real reason has not been stated. The current tension between Russia and Ukraine. Currently, Ukraine is suing Russia for illegally annexing Crimea, and this is creating a lot of tension between the two countries who are already at war with one another. Russia has created stronger forces at their border due to the rise in tensions. And lastly, the Russian economy is crippled because of the sanctions imposed by the United States after this annexation. What's next to come? Russia does not have the requisite force necessary to take Ukraine by force. Russia wants a formalization of the status quo, which would require both sides to admit that neither can make the other do what it wants. But we'll see if that will happen. Looking at Ukraine, for them, a formalization of the status quo already is a loss. But the notion that the U.S. and Russia might cooperate in Syria is a very real threat, and the country is starting to get very worried. Now, where does the U.S. fit into all this? The U.S. does not have the will or the ability to intervene in the pro-Russian forces out of the country's east, and at this point, exacerbating instability in the region has reached a point of diminishing returns. The status of a few regions in eastern Ukraine is not a pressing concern and, if anything, obstructs the U.S. goals. An increase in fighting between Ukrainian and pro-Russian forces is exactly what the new U.S. administration does not want.
Hello?
And that is the status of the annexation of Crimea.
Literally.